Once again, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. The day's still the same, Thursday, October 1st, 2020. And I'm gonna be even briefer in this video than I was in the other. But you know what kills me when I hear people talking about you gotta think outside the box. And I'm like, do you realize a box has 4 walls? That means if you're inside the box, you're facing 4 walls. That means you're in a cage. The best thing you can do for yourself and for your community is get outside the box and start thinking. Once you're outside of those 4 walls of your political or religious constructs that you've been taught, your dogmas, your ideologies and all that, you'll start to see life a whole lot clearer, and you will be able to interpret things a whole lot better, and that's when you gain the principle of insight. You know what I'm saying? People, stop saying, think outside the box. No, get outside the box and think. Because as long as you're inside that box, you're inside a 4-walled prison. Also, crabs in the bucket. Let me give y'all a real story behind crabs in the bucket. Do y'all realize that a bucket is not the natural habitat for a crab? I could be wrong, but let me give you a different way of thinking about it. Have you ever thought about the crabs at the top? See, they trying to get outside that bucket. They at the top because there's so many crabs at the bottom that they are supporting him. What if he's trying to get over, and when he's getting ready to fall over, the rest of the crabs are holding on to him, hoping that he can bring them over too? We got to stop a lot of this psychological hatred that we've been taught amongst ourselves, and that we let these people teach us. You see what I'm saying? You're not a crab in a bucket. And if you are a crab in a bucket, that strong crab can fall over the bucket and pull all the rest of us over. So stop hating on it. I mean, I'm going to be real. One of the principles I learned a long time ago in the streets, I never hated on nobody. If anything, I admire people for coming up, for doing something that's, beneficial and prosperous and productive. When I see somebody doing something, instead of sitting around, man, that nigga think he all this, he got this. Evidently he is. He got you talking about him, and he's minding on it. He's still doing what he's doing and making it better. But you know what I'm saying? What I always do, I gonna say, bro, I like that little concept you got. Show me how I can be a part of it, man. You know what I'm saying? We can make it better for everybody. But again, crabs are not supposed to be in a bucket. So you already, the poor crabs, they got this bad stigma, and they ain't even in their, we're not in our natural habitat. The only difference is between the strong crab that's climbing over the bucket is that black people, when they see him climbing over the bucket, instead of trying to hold on to him, strengthen him, keep him accountable, and hopefully he'll pull them through, black people gonna talk about it. That nigga think he's something because he got a nice house and all that. Again, man, that's the crab in the bucket mentality right there. That's not the crab in bucket mentality. That's a flat-out hatred mentality. Crabs do not belong in the bucket. You do not belong in the box. Get outside the box and think, man. Once you let this religious stuff that you've been taught, this political stuff that you've been taught, all these different factions, all these different tribes that divide us up into tribalism, once you let that go, you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see life a whole lot clearer. Because your mind will not be blocked based upon what you have been taught and what you choose to believe now because of what you've been taught. A lot of us, I'm going to be real, how can we as black people come together and try to fight a system when we can't even get over religion because grandmama was a Baptist all this time and I can't stand them Methodists? Or I'm a Christian, I can't stand them Muslims. We can't even come together on something as simple as a God. How you think we're going to come together to fight a system? Yeah, we can get out there and march and protest, but that doesn't change because half those people that's marching and protesting don't even go to their city council meetings. They're anarchists. So I just want to keep it real, man. Stop believing that myth that they gave us. Think outside the box. As long as you're inside a box, you're in a fucking prison. You can't think outside. You cannot think outside them 4 walls. Well, anybody that ever been in prison know, when you go to jail, you don't want to remember nothing on the outside. That shit's too painful. Get outside the box and think. Fuck religion, fuck politics, all this shit, man. It's meant to keep us divided. We so divided, man. We can't even, Muslims can't even come into a Christian church, and Christians wouldn't dare step foot into a Muslim church. You know what? Y'all motherfucker worse than gangs. Really, y'all are organized, another form of organized Crips and Bloods. You Baptists, Methodists, Pentecostals, all y'all really worse than these gangs out here. Because you, pastor at your church won't let you hang out with nobody else in that church, and if you do hang out on the slide, you going to hell. That's crazy. Get outside the box and think. Crabs don't belong in a bucket.